supremacy, black supremacy. This is ISIS, and I just wanted to sort of address the issue that people are having with brothers calling women goddesses. Now, it's very strange that, we just came out of this whole rap, uh, degrading women era where, people are upset that the rappers are calling the women bitches and that the bitches, the women don't really mind, and, that they're being called hoes, and that they don't have a problem with that. And, it really is just the community of people that are listening to this music, or that, overhear it on the radio, um, hearing this music and, speaking out against it. People should, men should stop calling women bitches and hoes. However, we come, on the internet, a place where, we are using it to grow and to further our, our awareness and just build connections with each other. And we really should be using it to get out of white supremacy, which is the ultimate problem and the biggest challenge. And we are making progress. We're seeing that we're making progress, and that the men are actually starting to call the women goddesses, and that the women are realizing themselves as goddesses and not just merely, bitches and hoes and prostitutes and all these things. But you have these same people that were complaining that men are calling women bitches and hoes, and that the women, don't seem to mind. You have those same people who are complaining about those incidences in the rap industry, and, seeing music videos of women dancing, shaking their body, whatever. They're the same ones who have an issue with another man calling a woman a goddess. So obviously there is, some sort of schizophrenia, bipolarism um, going on in the just the black community in general, because whether these people would be considered conscious or not is um, a whole debate. But the point is that the same people who, don't approve of women being called bitches and hoes, neither approve of women being called goddesses. So what they're saying is that not only are you a bitch and a hoe, you will never be anything more than a bitch and a hoe. So it's like you should be a bitch and a hoe undercover, is basically what they're saying. Be a bitch and a hoe, just, I don't want to see it on TV, I don't want to hear it on the radio. And, oh, by the way, you can never be more than that, and you will never be a goddess. You will never wake up to really knowing who you are as a woman and as, a divine black being on the presence of this earth. So with that, we have idol worship. That's basically what's going on. You are able to look back in history and see that, plenty of sculptures were made of the divine black woman, uh, undressed, in many cases fully undressed. Some will argue and say that, some of these sculptures, they cover their private parts, like King Tut's daughter or whatever. You could only see her breasts and her limbs. But you have several other artifacts where the woman is fully undressed. And then, also if women here, like King Noble said in his latest lecture, if women in America is to walk outside topless, or if she is to wear less clothes than the average Americanized, Europeanized black man and woman, Christianized really, if she used to do so, she is a hoe in America. But if you look and you see pictures of African women doing it in Africa, they're just, they just have some beads on, a piece of string going between, their buttocks, and maybe a little flap of animal skin covering the vagina. And again, like King Noble says, she's indigenous. That's cultural. That's tribal. The society accepts it, and that's the way things are over there. Over here, things are not like that. Over here, um, you'd be a hoe, you'd be a hooker, a prostitute, a bitch, all types of these things. Because what? Because you're stepping away from just mindlessly wanting to be free and expose yourself unconsciously, not really realizing who you are, to realizing who you are, and still realizing, hey, I still like to be free. I still don't want to be confined by clothing and by what society, the pressures and all that stuff that the white supremacy society wants to put on me. So it really doesn't make any sense. Um, the community, with these black people, because they really don't want anything. They don't want to see better. They want things to stay the way they have been. They want you buttoned up to the neck, just as King Noble described, like some 18th century, white bitch, okay? And it's not going to work for everybody. If that's what you want to do, you go and you get your frock, you put it on, okay? Um, so again, that is really idol worship, because if it's okay for our ancestors to have done this and to have saw saw so much beauty in it that they made sculptures, engraven images, and in many cases even paintings, hieroglyphs, all these things, left them on the wall. It's okay. You can look upon that in awe, and you can see beauty in that, and you can respect that. You can literally worship that. But to have a divine black woman in front of you doing the very same thing that your ancestors did, where she would have been sculpted. An image would have been painted in her image, and she would have been respected and looked upon. Her beauty, her sexuality, her sensuousness, appreciated to the fullest, without without dispute or complaint. It's totally wrong. It's against society norm, which is it's not our society. We know that. But you just don't want to see it today. You're not ready for that. So basically, what you're saying is that nothing. You don't want to see any type of revolution. No type of revolution to what you were used to, and to what you've grown accustomed to. It's almost very gay, um, to just not want to see a woman in her full entirety, even bottomless, topless, bottomless. And again, in certain, even if you look to some of the laws, which I really don't give a fuck about any of them, but they even allow for women to go topless. So even for the people that do follow the white man's laws, uh, he even allots, his women to do whatever the fuck they feel like. They're not as strict as some of these black people who really um, they're just in a box, They're in a box. They've got their panties in a knot, especially the women, because a lot of this stuff is coming from these so-called women that are supposed to be wives and supposed to, be some head matriarchs and supposed to be able to be guiding the younger generation of especially women into the right path. They are really just lesbian, um, women hating feminists. Like it almost doesn't make sense, but when you really put two and two together, it's like, what else are you? What else are you? You're just really upholding a system that is not for us. It's broken, destroyed. The only women you appreciate are women that really want to fit in with white supremacy. And feminists. This feminist movement is leaching over into the black woman, to the point where um, she comes down on the young black woman. She hates the younger black woman. Okay, so these women need to be put in check. And we see them. They're angry. They're mean. They're spiteful. They're just full of hate. They have no solutions. The only thing they can come up with is to stick to the Bible, um, go to school, get a job, work for the white man, suck his dick, suck the white woman. These are really all the answers that they would really have for you, and all the solutions that they would have for you. Um, so again, the latest thing I seen too was a picture of a black woman, and she was just like a thug. You have your tomboyish type of black woman, just like a thug or whatever. And the only difference between her and some of the other, type of thuggish, a bit more on the masculine side of these women, is that she actually had her top off. So she was topless with a gold chain, boxers, pants sagging, runners. Um, so, a lot of people was like, what is this? And, people were saying, okay, this is what the feminist movement will lead to, has led to. But I have to also say that you really provide no options for the black woman that really just wants to be a black woman. Um, like it's in our DNA, we cannot, there's certain parts about us that we cannot help. So if the men are not, there um, to protect us, even when even in our femininity, if they're not there to protect us and we have to take on this masculine role, there's still parts of our feminine self that are going to come out. So I don't see her having taken off her top as you know some sort of um, like she trying to be a feminist, taking over the gang community by being a gang member herself. She's caught up in whatever it is she's caught up in, and she still has these feminine qualities. And you have to still appreciate that and still respect that. She could have not, done that. She could have had a top on and whatever, but she's still, just by doing that, it's a constant reminder that I am a woman. A constant reminder, especially if you are so um, far gone into the realm of being having to look like a man from the outer appearance, tattoos, uh, baseball cap, just dressing, just looking like a man. Her that top, what she did there, we really made a statement showing that she is still a woman, and that she's black and she's supreme. So if men, or anybody has a problem with that, you also have to address yourself, because you sort of push women into a corner. They cannot be feminine as women, and even if they go over into the masculine domain, they still cannot be feminine. So when is it okay for a woman to be a woman? In white supremacy, a black woman to be a black woman and to do what she would have done in any given situation. It's never, it never seems to be okay. So the only solution that we women have, and that that woman in that picture, could have easily been a warrior goddess, which we don't give enough respect to, and we don't give enough honor to the warrior goddesses that we have right now. Me, myself, being one of them. So um, you know, you people like that, they need to be addressed, because a lot of these women, they're not going to be out there fighting any battle on the battlefield. They're not there. That's not what they're here for. They're here to keep white supremacy um, going. Us black supremacists, we don't give a fuck about what it is that you have to say to us, because we are the warriors. Okay, we are the warrioresses. You're not going to be there. Um, you're just not going to be there. You're going to be locked up in your house somewhere, trying to hide in the basement. Okay, telling everybody to stop. Just go back, go back. Now is not the time. We don't have time to listen to you. So to all the warrior goddesses out there, visit King Noble's site, www.kingnobleblackrulership.com, and check me out on there. And stay tuned to some more of King Noble's information and however else that you can contribute to Black supremacy.